All right. Peace, and blessings. Haki Ami here, the success scholar, Dr. Haki Shakur Ami, the Honorable Wanda Safo. Man. Let me fix my screen here. I want to show you all something, but let me do a banner up. Let me get that out the way. I'm going to do a two-part discussion. And many may not know I'm in Maryland here, and rather recently I was in the Maryland General Assembly for the redistricting vote, and there were some very, very heated, pointed discussions. Angry. Okay. All right. All right. Here you go. Here's my title here. I said Black Maryland GOP are angry in the FBA, and Pan-African, I meant to say NIS, are nowhere to be found. So let me just take some shots at different dynamics that may be going on. So I want to just offer people an opportunity to reflect, because I think it's critical to do objective analysis. Now, for one, I've read a lot of different books, from, I used to be not necessarily a member of the Green Party, but the previous, the Ralph Nader. I've read several of his books, of course, and one was Who Rules Congress? So I was able to get a good analysis, and then there's one, Who Runs the World, by who's the one? Noam Chomsky. So, I come from a, real proper analysis in terms of, just understanding the power dynamics of this country, and, having studied, for instance, the work of Professor Ron Walters, who was the University of Maryland professor for quite some time, as well as Howard University, listening to him and, several of his books. And so, I've been able to really dissect. He has a book called Conservative Policy and White Nationalism, ultimately it's like, how much do I really want to dig that deep into these things when they don't necessarily pay my bills? I'm not like a full-time scholarly person. I'm not a full-time worker, official policy type of brother. So I only touch on things in a cursory way, but several things made me discuss these things. Discuss this particular topic, and I'm gonna show a video in a second. And I want to just add, for instance, to this discussion, that the Black GOP member says that there's a Blexit happening of sorts, and you can hear it in her own words. But I'll just say that the 67 members of the Democratic members of the Black Caucus, for instance, in the state of Maryland, didn't get the memo. But let's just hear what she has to say. Let's take it in her own words. I'm not going to try to, let me see, wait a minute, wrong one. One here. Okay, let's do it. Share screen. Okay.
Today, but I came in late, and I thank you for the opportunity.
Absolutely.
I'm the chairman of the Representations App.
Restricted funding.
Wait a minute, did I miss it?
150 passes, and that map becomes law. We, on the Eastern Shore, lose our representative. And so you might imagine why we're frustrated and why we're a little bit mad. about it, but I present to you in conclusion the idea behind OKM's revenue the state.
Thank you. Recognizing the lady
Yes.
from Anne Arundel County.
Thank you, Madam Speaker.
You're welcome. Thank you for your patience, everyone.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna get to you.
I just want to reiterate the points that have been made by several of my colleagues that this map is not about reform. This map is not about fairness. This is a reactionary response triggered by the current administration. I have a master's degree in leadership, and any leadership course I've ever taken says that leadership should be proactive, not reactive. But I want to go back to a comment that was made that says that this current map serves to protect Republicans and disenfranchises black people. That framing was very misleading. I want to just say for your information that black people are not a monolith. Black people are Democrats, Independents, and yes, Republicans. In fact, across this country, the number of black voters switching or registering as independent and Republicans has more than doubled over the past decade. And I can tell you, in my personal experience, I get calls on a regular basis from black Democrats who tell me they are sick and tired. And they ask me how can they get involved in the Republican Party? How can they switch parties? I get those calls on a regular basis. And it's because we want results. We're tired of talking points. You can look around our communities, you can look around at our schools. You know, nothing is being done. We are sick and tired of being sick and tired. We want accountability, not assumptions about how we're supposed to vote. This map is a clear example of voter suppression. So let's stop pretending that manipulating district lines is somehow an act of equity or racial justice, because it's not. What this map does is disenfranchise all Republicans, black, white, Hispanic, and otherwise, but intentionally diluting their voices. That's what it's doing. That's not democracy. This is not representation. This is not fairness. And let's talk about our priorities. The Bible says charity starts at home, but the argument for this bill is focused on national issues and nothing about our home, Maryland. We are now 19 days into a 90-day legislative session, and that means that 1/5 of our time here in Annapolis and our taxpayers' dollars has been spent debating a map that was fast-tracked on a rocket docket, while we have done nothing to address the issues in our home, such as the skyrocketing energy bills, crushing taxes and fees that are hurting working families, the rising cost of living squeezing small businesses and senior citizens, our failing public school education, $150 million cut by the Moore administration to the Developmental Disabilities Administration, and the list goes on and on. Our constituents did not send us here to play political chess with district lines. They sent us here to solve real problems. When this body spends 3 weeks focused on redistricting instead of affordability, public trust, and basic government function, it sends a very clear message. The public interest is taking a back seat to political power. Mid-cycle redistricting undermines voter confidence, destabilizes our electoral system, and prioritizes party advantage over the will of the people. If the rules change every time one side is unhappy with the outcome, then election cease to have no meaning. I will not support legislation that rewrites the rules midway, silences voters, and distracts from the urgent issues Marylanders are demanding that we address here. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Welcome. I have a list, Madam Speaker. Recognizing the young lady from Anne Arundel County.
Thank you, Madam Speaker.
You're welcome.
Today, I rise in support of HB 488. I rise.
All right. Okay. So that was Delegate Latoya Nkongolo. So she was born in Wilmington, Delaware, and she's a member of Delta Sigma Theta sorority. She is a black Republican in Anne Arundel County. Let's see, she's also, she was a school board member, and she went to Delaware State, where my younger sister went, and Where's her family from? Where is she from? I can't remember, but I'm not sure if that's Cameroon or where, but I wanted to, just really just add on, to that, because now what would that, if you hear someone, the single individual, now there was another Republican, the first was actually a black Republican, Dr. Thema, and I assume she's gone now. I'm not sure how long she stuck around, but she was in Harford County, I believe, and so, I wanted to just really just dissect that, because it sounded to me, if I'm listening to it, and I'm one of the 67 black Democrats there, and I hear, for instance, that I get calls from black Democrats all the time that want to join the Democratic Party, join the Republican Party. So if I hear that, and I'm one of the 67, and you're the one, black Republican, it would make me, like feel like, oh, so you're absolutely smarter than all of these 67, like, right? So you have some unique power, some unique wisdom, some unique intelligence that all of these black Democrats do not have in the state of Maryland, right? Now, I'm gonna be objective. My journalist hat is on right now, everybody. So I'm not being any position that I'm affiliated with. I'm just being a journalist, giving a journalist insights with this. And so please don't persecute me or, label me or think that I'm speaking on behalf of any particular organization. And I want for people to just, kind of dissect this, because if you're getting all of these calls, right, and all of these calls, from people. So what's six divided into 167? 1 divided into 67%. Like, so you're telling me, and you're telling the intelligent people out here that, so although you are, a GOP, black GOP member, I'm not going to say whether you're MAGA or not. You could be a Michael Steele type of GOP member, right? But you say you get calls and so many blacks trying to be Republicans, as if there's some mass exodus. There's some mass exodus, or Blexit they call it, right? Black exit, right? I'm just curious, like, so you don't have not a single one of the 67. They are so afraid. They are so entrapped intellectually, is what you're saying, that they can't choose in their own not a one with all of the black Democrats, all of them. I don't know if they're all over the state of Maryland, but so they are so fed up. So here's the thing. The reality is that black people are, in fact, a little trapped between these two parties of sorts, right? But I'm just curious, like, so how is this Brexit gonna manifest in Maryland, right? And I just don't know, like, so are you saying, for instance, there's gonna be a mass shift, and then you're gonna have like a, like you're gonna have 34 and 33, like somewhere along the line it's gonna balance out. You're gonna get some black Republicans in Baltimore City and maybe some in Prince George's County, or Montgomery County. So I'm just curious, where or when will the constituents, transform the voters, the elected members of the black Democrats. I'm just going to say not just the caucus, but the black Democrats, where they will become influenced by all of these calls, right? All of these calls that are coming. You heard it. I don't know if you need to hear it again. She said all of these. I'm like, man, like, where are these people? Where are these people? Like this, and do they vote? Like, or will they vote? And when will they vote? Like, when will this shift manifest? So I just felt like that needs to be discussed, y'all. You saw the video, and if you need to look at it again, it's at the Maryland MGA Assembly. I was there. I didn't hear that part. I think I might have left right after that, because I think I heard the gentleman from Eastern Shore. I believe I heard the gentleman from the Eastern Shore. The chair, I believe he was the chair of the Eastern Shore Caucus. Now, once again, I'm just certainly curious, like, when this is supposed to happen. But I was just looking at none of the FBAs or ADOS and Pan-Africanists. They absolutely have no strategic influence in any of this. Like, nobody was reflective. Nobody mentioned FBA. Nobody mentioned Pan-Africanists. And so, so in the power dynamics, for instance, in Maryland, like, nobody's caring what people coming and talking about FBA or Pan-African. It's not a conversation in policy related areas. And so I would say to those that spend a significant amount of their time discussing these things and being a Pan-Africanist or FBA, let's just get into reality of what and where you should be focusing your life on: your children, your economic prosperity and development and security, and being civically engaged within your community, just being a good citizen versus debating about FBA and Pan-Africanism. So that's kind of like a little promo and a jab at those that are non-relevant entities. So I don't have much more to say, but I just felt like that you all needed to see that clip of Miss Nalongo. I'm sorry, I'll just Delegate Latoya from Anne Arundel County. And I just wonder how the black elected officials felt about that, and are they able, or even would they even take the time, because it really, it's not that necessarily relevant. I mean, there may be some black areas in the state of Maryland that may have blue dog Democrats and some Republicans in their area that it may where they have to sort of get along. So I don't know all of them off the top of my head, but I feel that that somewhere along the line, the conversations about where all of these black Democrats that are switching over, where are they coming from? And are they the FBAers, or are they the Pan-Africans? And this young lady, she is from the diaspora, but she's been here, I believe, for a significant amount of time. So you can look her up, of course, but the question becomes so are you smarter than all of these black Democrats, these 67 black Democrats from Prince George's County to Baltimore City to Baltimore County to Montgomery County and Charles County and where else? I mean, the Eastern Shore, I don't know, there may be one over in the Eastern Shore. I don't know if she is she trying to switch parties or not? So, but I felt like I needed to bring that up. It's a unique, interesting discussion with in a black state like Maryland. You have a black governor, a black attorney general, and other, prominent positions in the state of Maryland. And so it's just interesting that that was during a redistricting discussion, very, very critical issue, and the black Democrats did, as well as other Democrats, I believe. I don't know the numbers. I have it on my phone, like the votes, how many voted for and how many voted against, and so that's the question to ask. Like, so are these black Democrats gonna commit like sacrifice? Are they gonna sacrifice for the cause and go join the grand old party and just say, hey, yeah, I'm here now. Let me try to win this election. Let me try to win this election as a GOP member. Hopefully I can keep my seat. Let me see if I can do this. Let's try. All the 67 of the House, the House and Senate members in Maryland. Let's see if they'll switch parties, because Delegate LaToya says that she's getting so many calls, and I know that all the 67, they're ready to switch. They're ready to switch parties. So maybe they are. Maybe, I don't know. But let's see just how or when this Brexit is supposed to happen, and when this switching of the parties will take place. So I hope you all are well. Hope you all are beautiful. But yes, FBAs and Pan-Africanists, I meant to say Pan-Africanists, are nowhere to be found, as in general, as in life. Like, so I don't know why, these people like keep staying and talking like that, because nobody's like grabbing hold of your church ideology and saying, oh, this is who I am, this is where I have to align with. It's becoming defunct on many different levels. So, all right, y'all, that's all I want to drop. Peace and blessings. Peace and blessings. I hope you all are well, and you all have a good day. Let me get out of here.